Today, we're talking about a coin you probably see every single day. Maybe you've even tossed it aside thinking it's just a penny. Well, you might want to think again, because this little piece of metal has a fascinating history and a surprising value today. That's right, we're diving into the story of the 1-cent coin, or, as we know it, the penny. From its humble beginnings to its place in modern-day currency, the penny has been part of American life for over 200 years. But here's the kicker. While a single penny might seem insignificant, some of them are worth much more than their face value. So grab your favorite change jar, because by the end of this video, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. We're going to explore its rich history, its cultural impact, and yes, its surprising worth if you happen to have the right one. Stick with me, let's get into it. Let's kick things off by traveling back in time, to the late 18th century. The United States was a brand new country, and its economy was in the process of being built from the ground up. At that time, there was no standardized national currency. Different states minted their own coins, which led to all sorts of confusion. In 1792, to create a more unified monetary system, Congress passed the Coinage Act, which established the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia. This would mark the beginning of standardized U.S. coins. A year later, in 1793, the U.S. Mint introduced its very first 1-cent coin. While the chain cent was revolutionary, it didn't last long. Production issues and an unappealing design led to its replacement in 1796 with the draped bus cent, another design that would go through several updates over the years. Introduced in 1856, the Flying Eagle cent featured a majestic eagle in flight on the front, symbolizing the strength and freedom of the United States. It was made from a copper-nickel alloy, a departure from the previous all-copper pennies. Although the Flying Eagle cent only circulated for a couple of years, it marked an important shift in penny design, making it one of the first to feature a non-portrait on the obverse. But here's where it gets interesting. Some of the 1909 Lincoln cents feature an engraving of the designer's initials, VDB, on the reverse side. These pennies were considered controversial at the time, and the Mint quickly removed the initials after public outcry. This particular 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent is extremely rare, and in good condition. It can fetch anywhere from $1,000 to $100,000 or more, depending on the grade. In fact, the 1909 SVDB is one of the most valuable pennies out there. This design lasted for over 50 years, until 2009. When the U.S. Mint released a series of commemorative pennies to celebrate Lincoln's 200th birthday. These coins featured 4 different reverse designs, each representing a different stage of Lincoln's life. Finally, in 2010, the Mint introduced a simplified design with the Union Shield on the reverse, symbolizing the unity of the states during Lincoln's presidency. This design continues to this day. So, here's the million-dollar question. Well, actually, the million-cent question. Is the penny still relevant today? As of 2021, it costs about 1.7 cents to produce 1 penny. That's more than the coin is actually worth. In fact, the U.S. Mint spends more than $230 million each year just to produce pennies. Despite the fact that pennies cost more to make than they're worth, they continue to circulate, and they still serve an important role in making change in everyday transactions. But wait. Asterisk, here's where it gets really interesting. Asterisk, while most pennies are worth just 1 cent, there are some that are worth much more. Let's look at some of the rarest pennies ever minted. First, we have the 1943 copper penny. During World War II, the U.S. Mint switched from copper to zinc-coated steel to conserve copper for the war effort. But a small number of 1943 copper pennies were accidentally struck, and today, these rare coins can be worth anywhere from $100,000 to over $1 million. Then, there's the 1909 SVDB Lincoln cent, which we've already covered. And don't forget about the 1877 Indian head cent. Only about 852,500 were made, and today, in excellent condition, it can fetch $10,000 or more. Now that we've covered the rich history and surprising value of the penny, it's time to ask, what does the